Hi guys, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. This is Fanuel, your tutor, and today we're going to be solving for x and y simultaneously. Let us go through this equation over here. So you have 2x minus y is equals to 2, that is equation 1. Then xy is equals to 4. So what you have to do over here is to solve for y. You need to solve for x and y simultaneously. Basically, we have two unknown variables over here, which is what your x and your y. So what you have to do from here is that you need to make either y or x the subject of the formula from what you're given over here. So usually when you're making something, when you're making the variable, one of the variables is subject of the formula, either x or y, you need to avoid working with what? Working with fractions, because if you work with fractions, it's going to confuse you. So from equation 1 over here, if we make x the subject of the of the formula, we need to divide by 2. When we divide them by 2, we're creating we're going to create a fraction. That's going to give us some problems if we do that. But if we were to make y the subject of the formula, what's going to happen? We're going to we're not going to be working with fractions. So let's look at that. By making y the subject of the formula, it means that we need to take we need to take the 2x to the other side of the equal sign. Do you see that? So it's this 2x is positive. Now if you take it to the other side of the equal sign, what's going to happen? It's going to become a negative. So let's look at this. So you're going to have negative y is equals to 2 minus what? Minus 2x. So the 2x went from here to the other side. It was positive, now it's what? It's negative, right? We want to make y the subject of the formula, not negative what? Negative y. How do you do? How do we change this thing? How do we make this y a positive? You can see that the coefficient of this y is what? Is negative. So it's negative 1. So we can divide by negative 1 throughout. If we do that, divide by negative 1, you can have the following thing. You can have y is equals to 2x minus what? Minus 2. That's basically the whole equation changing. So basically, this negative and this negative, when you divide, it's going to become a positive. But this negative 2, this 2 over negative 1 becomes a negative 2. I just rearrange the equation. Then from there, I'm going to name this one my equation 3. Right? I hope you guys are following. So let's follow. Let's carry on. So since we made y the subject of the formula, it becomes what? It becomes easier for us to do what? To substitute this equation 3 onto what? Onto equation 2. Let's carry on. So we're gonna say that sub equation 3 into equation 2. Basically what it means is that in equation 2, wherever you see y, what do you put? You put the 2x minus 2, right? So this equation, the new equation that's going to be formed, is going to be in terms of what? It's going to be in terms of what? In terms of x. Let's do that. So you're going to have x into what? So we substitute equation 3, the one that we got into what? Into equation 2. Meaning that wherever we see the y over here, we put the 2x minus 2. Let's carry on. If we do something like that, we're going to have what? X into what? Into 2x minus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to, not 0, is equals to 4, right? This is what you have. We have x into 2x minus 2, close bracket, is equals to what? Is equals to 4. So let's carry on. From here, what do you do? What are you going to do? So this x is what? This between this x and this bracket, there's what? There's a multiplication. How do we then break this bracket off? We do what? We break this bracket by what? By multiplying what? All the terms in the brackets by what? By x. Let's carry on. If you do that, you're gonna have x multiplied by 2x. You're gonna have 2x squared. Then x minus multiplied by negative 2. You're gonna have negative 2x. You're gonna have negative 2x is equals to 4. So the goal is to write this one, is to write this equation in a quadratic form. So quadratic form, I mean by this, like this: ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So how do you get this equation from here to this point over here? You need to take the 4 to the other side of the equal sign. The 4 is what? The 4 is positive. When it goes to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes what? It becomes a negative. Let's get around. You're going to have 2x squared minus 2x minus 4 is equals to what? Is equals to 0. So this 4, we took the 4 from this side, we took it to the other side. It was a what? It was a positive. Now it becomes a what? A negative. So from here you need to factorize. But you can see, before you factorize, I think you can do something right on the equation one just by looking at it. What can you do from here? We can easily divide by what? We can easily divide by 2, just to make it simpler for ourselves. Let's do that. If we divide this one by 2, and this one by 2, and this one by 2 over here, right? This 2 is going to cancel this one. This one is going to cancel. It goes once, goes once. In this here, it goes how many times? It goes twice. So you're going to have what? And I'll be left with x squared minus x minus 2 is equals to what? It's equals to? It is equals to 0. So right now, this equation is what? It's much simpler for us to do what? 2 to factorize. Let's do that. Let's open the brackets. We're going to have x is equals to 0. Let me just open this one a little bit wider. So you're going to have an x and x. So right now you need to look for what? For the multiples of 2, that when you add them, they give you what? They give you a negative 1, because the coefficient of this x over here is what? Is negative, is negative 1. Let's carry on. Let's do that. How do we do that? We see that, okay, it has to be a what? It has to be a negative and a what? And a plus. So what are the multiples of 2? Can be what? Can be 2 multiplied by what? Multiplied by 2. So 2 multiplied by 1. Let's carry on. So we can see that the bigger number needs to take the what? Needs to take the what? The negative sign, because of this one over here, right? So 2, we put the 2 here, and we put a plus over here, because this 2 multiplied by 1 is going to give you a negative 2. Do you see that? Then this multiplied by this, and this multiplied by this, and when you add them, x multiplied by 1 and negative 2 multiplied by x, when you add them, what do you find? You get the what? You get negative x. So it means that what you're going to have, you're going to have that x is equals to 2, or x is equals to 1 is equals to negative 1. So the equation is saying that what? The equation is saying what? Solve for x and y simultaneously, right? That's what you're doing from here. So after finding these 2, what do? You're going to substitute this x, x is equals to 2 and x is equals to negative 1 into what? Into let's choose equation 3 to make it simpler. How do you do that? You're gonna say that, okay, y is equals to okay, let's just make it more simple. Let's say sub x is equals to 2 and x is equals to negative 1 into equation 3 to make it simpler. Let's go. If you do that, you're gonna have like y is equals to 2 into 2 minus what? Minus 1. Then 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 minus 1. What is 4 minus 1? You have what? It's going to give us 3. So the first coordinates, or the first point is what? Is 2 and what? 2 and 3. That's what you're finding over here. Let's erase to do the second one. I'm just gonna erase over here, guys. Let's see. Let's carry on. This is so exciting. So we found what? When you sub x is equals to 2, we found what? We found the answer to be what? To be 3. Let's carry on. So the other one is that sub x is equals to negative 1 into equation 3. So we saw equation 3 was what? Equation 3 was y is equals to 2x minus what? Minus 2. Then from here, you're going to say that, okay, y is equals to 2. Wherever you see the x, you put the what? You put the negative 1. Negative 1 minus 2 is equals to negative 2 multiplied by negative 1 is going to give you, negative 2 minus 2. This is 2. This is 2. Then the answer becomes 2 over here. Sorry, guys. This is also 2, right? Then this 2 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 2 minus 1. Then negative 2 minus 2 is what? It's basically, you're saying negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. Then the answer is what? Is negative 4. So it means that you're going to have what? Negative 1 and negative 3. So basically, solve for what? You solve for x simultaneously. I hope you guys understand. Please subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you guys are good. I'll be posting more videos. Have a good night and have a good day. Thank you.